A man cancels his wedding after his fiancée shows support for Lindsay Clancy. What a base to Chad. We're going to get into that clip in here in just a second. The overarching theme I've seen with this Lindsay Clancy stuff from these insane feminist left-leaning liberal women is the fact that they go, well, it was her hormones. That's why she unalived her children. Let's use that same exact logic. I guess if that's the case, then Ted Bundy was just hungry. This is absolutely insane. We're going to go over kind of an overview of what's up to date now, because I think yesterday they did... there was some of the trial. So let's get into an update on what's going on, and then we're going to get into some of these clips.
This is everything that we know now in the case of Lindsay Clancy, who is on trial for killing her 3 children. Her defense has just rested their case that she was suffering from severe postpartum psychosis and that failures in her medical treatment led up to what happened. On January 24th, 2023, Lindsay played outside with her 5-year-old Cora, 3-year-old Dawson, and 7-month-old Callan while her husband Patrick worked from the family's basement office. Lindsay sent photos throughout the afternoon building a snowman with the kids, and Patrick testified that she seemed happy and was having one of her best days. He said that around 5 p.m. Lindsay suggested they order takeout from a restaurant about 10 minutes from their house, and he left at 5:15 to pick up the order. But as soon as he walked out of the door, Lindsay heard a demanding voice in her head telling her it was her last chance to kill their kids. She said she entered a dreamlike state, felt an overwhelming urge to comply, and had no control over her actions. Lindsay then texted Patrick while he was on the way to pick up their food and asked if he could make an additional stop at CVS to buy medication for Cora. Patrick called her when he got to the store to ask her which one she wanted, and he said it sounded like Lindsay was distracted, but he just assumed she was giving the kids a bath. He got home with the food and the medication around 6 p.m., but when he walked into the house, it was unusually quiet. He yelled out to his family, but no one answered, and when he found the bedroom he shared with Lindsay was locked, he knew that something was wrong. Patrick unlocked the door to find blood all over the floor and that the window behind their bed was wide open. He ran downstairs and into the backyard to find Lindsay face down on their lawn and immediately called 911. Patrick can be heard on the call asking her what happened and where their children were, and she told him that she tried to end her life and that their kids were in the basement. As soon as first responders arrived, Patrick went down to check on them, but then he started screaming that he needed help and that Lindsay effing killed them. Cora and Dawson were both pronounced deceased that night, while Patrick made the decision with medical staff to withdraw Callan's life support 3 days later. Lindsay was taken to the hospital with a severe spinal cord injury from her fall, and on January 26th, Patrick made a GoFundMe asking the public to forgive her for what happened. He said the real Lindsay was generous and loving, her condition worsened rapidly, and that they stuck to the rule that when one of them got lost, the other was always there to bring them back home. But then the very next day after he published this GoFundMe, Lindsay asked doctors if she could switch her healthcare proxy from Patrick to her parents because they would have her best interests. She continued to recover in the hospital, and on February 6th, she called Patrick from a member of her defense team's phone and told him about the voices that told her to do this. Again, she has argued at trial that she shouldn't be held criminally responsible because she was misdiagnosed, over-medicated.
Of course. I should be able to negate all accountability. Golly.
And didn't know right from wrong. Patrick testified in her defense that she was an amazing labor and delivery nurse and the kind of mother who made their kids green eggs and ham because it was their favorite book. But he said after their 3rd child, Callan, was born in May of 2022, Lindsay struggled with the thought of going back to nursing when their children were still so young. She became extremely anxious, could sleep only 4 hours a night, and by September, when she was supposed to return to work, she described herself as having debilitating depression. It was at this point, about 4 months before the killings, that she, quote, realized something was wrong and went online and found Dr. Tufts, who described herself as an expert in postpartum care despite having 1 month of working experience in the field. Dr. Tufts prescribed Lindsay an antidepressant, but she had such a terrible reaction that she asked her mom to come and stay with her because she didn't want to be alone. She repeatedly expressed concerns that she believed her new medications were making her symptoms worse, but over the next 3 months, she was prescribed 12 more. Lindsay documented her treatment in journals dedicated to her mental health progress, and throughout October and November wrote that she was having constant hallucinations and felt disconnected from reality. By Thanksgiving, Patrick testified she was in rough shape, and her insomnia was so severe she drove herself to the hospital after not sleeping for 4 years.
Her shirt says, I came in like a butterball. We should give this to all the big back women.
Big back.
8 hours. She also started spending nights on a couch in their basement, and he would find her rocking back and forth with a pillow on her head, hysterically crying. Around this time, Lindsay began additional treatment at South Shore Hospital, and her nurse Rebecca Gelada testified that she believed Lindsay actually had bipolar disorder, and that was why she was having such negative reactions to some of her medications. But she said that Patrick Clancy, quote, denied his wife was bipolar, and that Lindsay ultimately wasn't treated for it. Her mental state and hallucinations continued to get worse, and
so it's his fault. It's always not her fault.
December, about a month before the killings, she
Look
told
how cute these babies are. Look at this chunky little chunkus right here. How could you ever look at these little faces and decide to unalive them? That's evil right there, bruh.
Patrick she was having intrusive thoughts about harming their children. She went to the ER twice and then a partial hospitalization program trying to get help, but they told Lindsay that they didn't believe they were her best fit. So she self-admitted to McLean's inpatient hospital on December 31st and was kept in a locked unit for 5 days before doctors deemed she was not a threat to herself or others and released her. Patrick testified that after Lindsay was released, she, quote, seemed much better, and that he even took Cora on a ski trip, leaving her to watch their other 2 kids. He said he would ask Lindsay every morning how she was doing and that he was hopeful for her recovery, but his account of those final days is so different from her own. Lindsay wrote the week before the killing that she was still having constant hallucinations, and she Googled what is a psychopath to see if she was one. She also emailed Dr. Tufts that this had been going on for months now, and she was desperate for something that would work quickly. In response, Dr. Tufts increased her medication dosage on January 23rd, and Lindsay claimed she woke up that next morning with horrible intrusive thoughts and full responsibility of her kids. Her trial has been going on for about 3 weeks now, and her defense attorney has argued that she was misdiagnosed and had bipolar disorder, which crossed into psychosis. They have filed a wrongful death suit against 3 of her providers and 4 of the institutions where she was treated for improperly managing her medications and failing to recognize a psychiatric emergency. The prosecution, however, argues that Lindsay intentionally sent Patrick to run errands that day and that she was fully aware of her actions when she killed their kids.
All I know is that...
Yeah, bro, I don't know. Okay, so there were some details in there I did not know. My whole thing is if you were in a mental health facility and you didn't feel like you were good to go after 5 days, you should probably stay. So let's put the shoe on the other foot here, okay? This was a man that did this stuff.
For all of the people that are supporting Lindsay Clancy, just riddle me this, okay? Push her out of your brain, okay? You guys remember when this happened, right? Travis Decker here, kidnapped, killed his 3 daughters in Washington State. These were the headlines. $10 million manhunt. All of these were the headlines.
Yeah. Why wasn't he looked at as a victim? Why aren't we worried about that? Here's a clip of these modern women actually talking about this stuff.
I'm an unemployed mom with no life. I watch trials and use my expertise. I watch bad legal dramas and TikTok professionals. I blame men for everything. Feelings.
I love that. Oh my God. They'll do anything but take accountability. So there has been a dude that has broken off his engagement. So let's get off into this. This guy's based. I love it.
Clancy is destroying relationships. A lot of relationships right now, or just been like an ongoing thing, are ending because their significant other supports Lindsay. And TikTok, yes, I know. I'm not going to say it. It's been an ongoing story. Like everybody knows. My brother, who gets married in 2 weeks, sent the entire family plus hers a group chat saying he is calling off the wedding because his fiance says she support Lindsay Clancy on Friday. By the way, we got text messages too. She says, so you're really breaking up with me over an effing opinion? I'm not breaking up with you over an opinion. I'm breaking up with you because that opinion showed me a fundamental difference in our values. I have compassion for someone struggling mentally without excusing what happened to those children. If I'm choosing someone to potentially be the mother of my kids, I need to trust their judgment completely, especially when it comes to protecting them. What you said created a doubt in me that I can't ignore or gamble with my future children. What a base Chad. I love this guy. I skipped that clip because it had music behind it. I just want to make sure we're not getting that clip copyrighted. So here's another one. This guy talking about it.
Gets married in 2 weeks, sent the entire family plus hers a group chat saying he is calling off the wedding because his fiance says she supports Lindsay Clancy on Friday. He's not wrong. You're something not right here. There's something not right up top. Insane.
Yeah, I agree with this guy. I agree. There's something not right with you if you're willing to support a woman that's unalived her kids. There's something not right with you. And let's just pay attention to this clip right here. Here's just some of the clips of like what these women are saying.
Kids as people and think about them as ceramic.
Okay. Just listen to this.
Stop thinking about these kids as people and think about them as ceramic vases for just one.
What? Children as ceramic vases?
Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty. There are...
Yeah, blaming hormones for unaliving your kids is like blaming men and their testosterone for grape. That's what it is. I don't even know what else to say. Like, this is creepy.
Things that I've said or thought or written.
In March of 2028, the South Node is going to transit over Patrick Clancy's moon in Cancer. He's going to be having...
Stop it.
Family's money and not making any...
This is the devil reincarnate right here. This is just evil at work. This is pure evil. I don't even know what to say. And the problem is that these women really believe themselves.
You support a female in need is why we're here. We all relate in one way or another.
You relate to unaliving your 3 kids. You're evil.
And that is definitely...
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember the guy named Chris Watts, but he unalived his wife and his 3 kids. Imagine if men showed up for Chris Watts saying, a lot of guys go through this and a lot of guys have felt like that. They would deem you as insane.
each of us here to support her.
I am really upset about the mental health system and how we don't communicate with each other and how that really put her in danger. And it's heartbreaking to see what...
Yeah, it's mainly because women know how to talk, but they don't know how to communicate.
Gotcha, bitch!
They just speak at people. They actually don't get... That's why women don't have friends for a long time. And women have new friends every week, especially when they're younger. And when they get older, they don't have a ton of like friends because they're very surface level. And even when people are in their like late 30s or even like mid 30s, I see people now that have like a lot of friends. It just tells me that you probably are very surface level with these people and you're not getting deep. You don't have like deep friendships. So when you see people like hanging out with a lot of people, because I have a very small circle, dude. I have like maybe 4 or 5 friends, including Cass. I don't have a big circles because the people that I'm really close to, I have a deep relationship with. And it would take a long time to build that with somebody else. People that have like a ton of friends are like, oh, I'm just hanging out with my crew, my gang. It's just surface level BS relationships, and they all rely on each other because they lack a level of depth. And that's just my opinion.
Suffering right now. And so many women in the world go through this. And we really don't know much about psychosis, particularly with women who have given birth. So I'm here.
I think we know a lot about this, and I think it's a cop-out. I think it's a cop-out. This guy says it's worse than a manosphere, and I actually agree. I think this level of feminism is way worse than the manosphere.
Lindsay Clancy's trial for murdering her own...
Yeah, if she had a mental issue, with that same logic, Jeffrey Dahmer was just a little bit hungry. Jeffrey Dahmer was just a little bit hungry. Was it Ted Bundy? Did Ted Bundy eat people too?
3 children is perhaps the greatest indictment of modern man-hating feminism that I have ever seen in my life. First off, to be clear, Lindsay Clancy admits that she killed her children, and so does her attorney. Despite that, massive numbers of people on the internet are theorizing that actually the husband was the one who killed the children, even though we have ample evidence, including surveillance video, that directly refutes that claim. People are still convinced the husband did it, saying the eyes says it all. And on top of all of this, Lindsay Clancy's parents have received nearly $1 million in donations as this murder trial is ongoing. This is what happens when large portions of the internet hate men so much that they literally believe that being around a bear is safer than being around an average man. When an act...
That's crazy. Chat, what would you rather? Would you rather have your kid around a bear or a woman with postpartum? Okay, I'm just kidding, but for real though, my dildo, that is wild.
All I know is that if I got some form of psychosis postpartum and did what she allegedly did.
She admitted that she did it. Not allegedly, she did it.
I wouldn't even care about being found innocent. I would actually ask for the death penalty. Because if it's true psychosis, I cannot even fathom the guilt and the remorse. I like literally can't even fathom it.
She's never been diagnosed with psychosis though. Nobody has said that. Nobody has said, "Oh yeah, she got it." No, she don't.
So why are you against abortion? Well, because it's killing humans, and valuing human life is a fundamental moral cornerstone of our society. Well, at the end of the day, it's still the mother's choice. If she feels like it's necessary for her physical and mental health, then she should be able to make the choice to abort. You realize that exact same logic can be used to justify infanticide? Oh please, no one's ever going to try and justify a mother killing her own babies after they're born.
You'd like to say that. I stand with Lindsay. Sick, demonic behavior.
To anybody that in a culture that celebrates killing babies in the womb, that eventually they'd start to celebrate killing babies outside the womb too.
Hey, I mean, the dude's onto something. Just saying. And then you have chicks coming out with this, talking about how he's a terrible husband. How about her make a video that says things Lindsay Clancy did that makes her a terrible wife and mother?
Over things that Lindsay's husband did to help her, because all of the feminists on TikTok are saying he did nothing to help her. Meanwhile,
okay, wait a minute. She's an ally. My bad. My bad.
The same ones saying this are the ones with multiple baby daddies who want nothing to do with their kids. But let's get into it. The first one, he took an extended paternity leave. And he also started working from home so that he could be there more often. He hired a nanny, which most moms would love to have a nanny. They just can't afford it. It's a luxury. So the fact that she had a nanny and was able to get a nanny is so helpful and way more than most moms can get. Own attorney stated that Patrick even went to the doctors and asked them for help, stating that her medications were making her feel worse. He directly asked her if she was still having suicidal thoughts, to where she told him no, but clearly she was lying. 2 older children had school/childcare arrangements during the week, so she never had to deal with all 3 children at the same time for 24 hours a day like most mothers do. Most mothers also don't have the luxury, and they just have to deal with the kids 24/7, 7 days a week. He had encouraged her to check into a psychiatric ward, which she did, but she only stayed 5 days, and then she said she wanted to voluntarily check out to go to her child's birthday. But honestly, she should not have checked herself out if she knew that she was still having suicidal thoughts or thoughts of harming her children. As a mother, you should keep yourself there until you feel better. Why put yourself in that situation where you're at risk of harming them still? 5 days is not enough help to get better. She should have stayed in there. He also had put money aside because he knew that Lindsay would have a hard time returning to work. So he set money aside so that she wouldn't have to go back to work. Everything he did is probably more help than your husband ever gave you.
100%. And just this comment right here. This one says, girl, please, you're so beautiful. Please look at the medical facts. This was premeditated by him. Good Lord. Officially, he's going to do all these things. I have 1 baby daddy and 2 kids. Lord have mercy. And I do everything for my babies full time. Read between the lines, please. You mean premeditated by Lindsay? Here's the facts. Sent Patrick out shortly before the killings to create an opportunity to be alone with the children. Searches before January 24th included suicidal methods, psychiatric medication, psychosis, bipolar disorder, and can you treat a sociopath? Searches also include ways to die, including questions about slitting a throat and the carotid artery. All 3 children were strangled with exercise bands, showing intentional action. She appeared to function normally that day, talking with Patrick, discussing dinner with the kids, and doing normal tasks. Patrick left around 5:15, arrived at CVS around 5:32, and captured a CVS surveillance inside from about 5:32 to 5:37. He then arrived at 3V around 5:54 and returned home at 6:09. Investigators calculated that drive home from CVS roughly 3 minutes, making the documented surveillance and timeline difficult to reconcile with the idea that Patrick secretly returned home and committed the killings. What else is she? Sabrina, the crazies don't know what to do with the facts. They only have one response. Are you watching the trial? I stand with you. She absolutely planned this out. Yeah, keep in mind, even Lindsay's lawyer said she did it. This is the world we live in now where a woman can admit to something and people don't believe her. Here's some of the comments from yesterday's video. Definitely not innocent. Women being loud and obnoxious doesn't mean you're right. If you support Lindsay, you should lose custody of your children if you have them immediately. She's not a victim. She murdered her kids. She's a demon and needs to be dealt with. Women don't suffer in silence. They cry about their minor inconveniences. If postpartum and psycho meds led to killing your children, then the court should give all the children to protect the children. Couldn't imagine coming home and finding my children murdered by their mother. It was 100% premeditated. My condolences to him. I'm having depression, so I need a team of doctors and therapists to follow me like a reality show to make sure I don't murder my family. I mean, dude, that's the thing. What did you expect? What do you expect? Do you expect them to follow you everywhere, force you to be in this mental health facility and force you to take meds? They can't do that. It's legally unjust. They can't do that. You have to have a bit of self-awareness and want to help yourself a little bit. And it shows right now that she didn't want to help herself at all. And then now we have a copycat killer, apparently. Look at this.
Here we go. I don't know how new this is or not, but this is in America. A 22-year-old North Dakota mother allegedly slit the throats of her 3 young children after telling their father, say goodbye to your kids. Her 5-month-old baby, 3-year-old child died. Her 1-year-old survived after extensive surgery. Insane. Kaylee Earhart has been charged with 2 counts of murder and attempted murder.
This is insane. This is the effect that a woman like Lindsay Clancy is having on the world. Evil. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to like. Like when Charlie Kirk passed, I was like, the left is evil. Now that this has happened, I'm realizing that these liberal left-leaning feminists, it just feels like they're evil. I don't know if I'm right. I could be wrong. But this feels evil. I don't know what else it is. Celebrating the fact that this, like thinking this woman is the victim, even though there's 3 children who will never breathe another breath, never get to hug their daddy again. Kids that are saying stuff like imagine the kids going down to the basement. Mommy, where are we going? Why are we going down to the basement? Mommy, what are you doing? Ow, Mommy, that hurts around my neck. Ow, Mommy, why are you tightening it? Ow, Mommy, I'm sorry, I love you. Imagine what these kids were saying. And then you go to the 8-month-old who is just looking at the one person they probably trust and love and adore the most and getting betrayed like that. It's evil. I don't know what else to say. It's evil. She has to be held accountable. And the fact that this wasn't a unanimous decision to the fact that she's evil and needs to be held accountable, I don't know what else is. What else do we have to do? Because if it was a guy that did it, it'd be a no-brainer. And they'd vilify him in the news like the guy we looked at. This case is just insane, and it's just exposing people in another way. And I hate that these catastrophes have to happen for the evil to be exposed. But if this is what it takes, then I guess that's what it is. It sucks. Just like the people on the left when they killed Charlie Kirk. We got to really see what the left was all about. It's brutal. It's brutal. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's always good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.